All right. Home value 125,000 would require a land transfer tax of, and I just go right ahead and do this. On the first 30,000, you don't pay anything. That gives you 95,000 left. I can keep subtracting, right? The next 60,000, you pay 0.005, okay? 0.5% divided by 100 gives you 0.005. I would have those on my study sheet if you're not sure, because being off by a zero there makes a big difference. So 300 bucks on that portion. You keep going, you're left with 35,000. At that point, you cannot subtract any longer, but the next percentage on that scale is 1%. So you get 350 out of this that you have to pay for that amount past the second 60,000. Okay? So land transfer tax here would simply be 300 plus 350. So that's 650 bucks. So this is your answer there. Yeah. You got 60,000 times 0.01? Yeah. That would have given you 600, not 650, right? Because 1% times 60,000 is 600. So watch the locations here. For the first 300 bucks here, you get 1 mark to get that. For the 350, you get another mark. It'll be worth 3, so I'll give you 1 out of 3. Yeah, so 1 mark for the 300, 1 mark for the 350, and another mark for adding them all up. So this question is worth 3 marks total, right there. You know what? I'm gonna stay away from that shortcut that I just showed you, because every time I do that, some students get mixed up. So if you got that, what I was talking about, great. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Just stick with the method I've shown you. Okay. Next, 187,000. Same steps. For the first 30 grand, you don't pay anything. So you're left with 157,200. You can subtract 60,000 from it, and you pay 0.005, which is 0.5% on it, and that's 300 bucks. You subtract that, you're left with 97,200. I can definitely subtract my next 60,000 off of that, and that's 600 bucks. So you get 1 mark for the 300, 1 mark for the 600. And then you're left, if you subtract, you're left with 37,200. So the next, right, if you go 30, 60, 60, the next would be 50,000. You can't subtract that, but you do need to multiply it by the next scale, which is 1.5%. And that gives you 558. That is another mark right there. And then your land transfer tax is adding up all 3 values. That's 1458. And that gives you another mark getting that answer. So this question is worth 4. So 4, 3, and 1. So this page is worth 8. 8 marks. And if you're a bit rusty today with this, that's okay. It's not the last time you're going to see it. In fact, you can expect insurance and land transfer tax almost everywhere. And then, of course, mortgage payments and whatnot. So Friday quiz, remember? This is going to be on there, as well as what I'm covering up until Friday. All right, next, question 4. Another land transfer tax question. So I'm going to do this a little faster because I know you have this done already, right? So this is 368,500. Then you subtract 60 grand from it. That's 300. We max out on that. So you're left with 308,500. We would subtract our next 60,000, right? We pay 1% on that. What happened here? That's not 30,000, that's 300. There. That's 600 bucks. You subtract that, you get 248,500. We subtract our next number, which is 50 grand. On that, we pay 1.5%. That's 750. Then you're left with 198,500. That we pay 2% on. That would be 3,970. Okay. So 1, 1, 1, 1. So 4 marks. And then your land transfer tax, you can just show, right? 300 plus 600 plus 750 plus 3,970. Dun dun dun. 56,20. So 5,620. Another mark for that. So this question is a whopping 5 marks, just to make it easier. Yeah.
You only do the land transfer tax on the value of the house, not the how much you bought it for?
You do it on the value. Yeah. So if there's a down payment, the city goes by what you purchased it for, the original amount. Yeah. So there's a shortcut, right? You could have just said, okay, take 200,000 away from that, get straight to here, multiply by this to get the 3,970, and then just go plus 1650, right? Because this the scales, if you max up the scale, it's always 1,650. Okay. But I would say stick with this. You'll be right every single time. Okay. Just have to know the steps and know the values, and then you're good to go. All right, 5 marks. Next, we have insurance. I'm looking quickly. It's a home, right? Boom. So I know which table. It's in Winnipeg. Important. And that I want 195,000. I know I'm not maxing out, so I don't have to worry about the overage. It's a $500 deductible, which just means whatever I'm getting from the table, that's what it's going to be, right? And after tax. All right. So very specific. I go to my insurance. It's in Winnipeg, and I want comprehensive. That was also important to underline. So that's 771. No, sorry. 195, 742. I meant to say 742, right? You get a mark for that number appearing on your paper, and then you will add taxes to that. So you getting that right answer after applying the taxes will give you the mark, 793.94. Okay, so you get a mark for that. So this whole question is worth 2 in total. 793, right there it is. All right. Next, we have another insurance question. Home again. Be ready for tenant insurance, okay? I know a lot of the questions are home insurance, but don't forget about it. But it's the same step, right? Insurance, I'm going to use the square bracket because I see that I'm over. For the first 200,000 in area 2 under standard, I'm at 519, right? 519, you get a mark for that. But I also know I'm over, so 275 over 1,000. That gets you another mark. How much am I over by? 115 grand. So oftentimes you won't even have to show that work, okay? So that's another mark. 3 marks there. Before tax and a $500 deductible, so nothing has to happen here. This is it. So 519 plus, I get 316.25. If you add that up, it's 835.25. That's another mark. So 4 marks for this one in total. So 11 for the whole page. 8 and 11. So this is 19 total. Okay, 19 total.